Hi, my name is Jeong from Youth Culture Corporation. Today, I'm going to introduce about early printing museum in Cheongju. Have you ever heard about the printing name Jikji? Jikji, the oldest metal typewriter in the world, was published by Heungdeoksa Temple in Cheongju in 1377, 78 years ahead of Gutenberg's 42-line Bible. Jikji was registered as a UNESCO Memory of the World in September 21 in recognition of its value in human cultural history as the world's best metal type. The greatest event in the past 1,000 years is believed to have contributed the most to the development of human culture by providing a groundbreaking biography of information technology with the invention of metal type. So, Cheongju City, along with UNESCO, is dedicated to promoting the great cultural heritage of Cheongju, the birthplace of metal type, and Korea by awarding the UNESCO Jikji Award to individuals and organizations that have contributed greatly to the preservation and utilization of the world record heritage. Now, I will explain Jikji more specifically. The name of the book, published in 1377 in metal type by Heungdeoksa Temple in Cheongju, is called 백운화상 초록불조 직지 심체 요절. The name of this book is 직지 심체 요절. It was sometimes referred to as a temple, a Jikji body, or a Jikji. In 1972, it was introduced as Jikji 심경 at the book exhibition hosted by the National Library of France and book exhibition hosted by the National Library of France. The metal type Jikji was published in July 1377 in Heungdeoksa Temple, Cheongju, and was originally 2 volumes, but only one lower volume, which has not been passed down, is housed in the French National Library. The lower part of the Jikji area is the 사주 단화변 and 해설 line. The number of rows of half leaves is 11 rows, 18 to 20 characters, and the number of spells is double. The book is almost 24 centimeters in size and is a copy of the Captain's Master's Book, which is made of 5 holes and sewed with red thread. The paper is printed on traditional Korean paper and it is completely distributed.
In the first gallery, they introduced about the first metal print that called Jikji. Also, they introduced its meaning and value. The printing skills had a lot of development. For example, convey correct information and recorded something. Before the invention of printing skills, humans convey their information by copying books or documents. However, this method have had many problems that error of copying and change the contents by different interpretation. The first printing skill was studied by the wood, but this method needed time and money. Thus, wood could easily rotten and damage quickly. Then, the metal type printing was invented. This printing skills that carving some letters in the metal and stamped it on the paper. It is better than the wood because it saves the time and the money. So, this is the example that the metal type printer in the past. They carved the letters on the metal and stamped it. Now, people restored Korea metal type and this called Jikji. They put together 78 letters and emphasized its symbolism and the meaning. People around the world believe that the oldest metal type is Jikji. However, the truth is 상정고문예문. You can curious about why everyone said Jikji is the oldest metal type. That is because 상정고문예문 is gone and we couldn't know its whereabouts. We only knew that 상정고문예문 was 143 years more earlier than the Jikji. Next, I will tell you about the sequence of making metal print. First, selection of writing capital. Second, capitalization. Third, create the main scale. Fourth, swelling of iron. Fifth, create the mold. Sixth, shape the type. Lastly, type setting and printing. Nobody could know when and who made this building called Heungdeoksa. There were no record of this. 2. When we raised our insight into Korea's printing culture and developed an eye for world culture and the art, the greatest metal type printing of Jikji and Heungdeoksa, the world record heritage, will be recorded in the world.
Exhibition Hall 2, Printing Culture of Korea and Joseon. Exhibition Hall 2 introduces Korean traditional printing culture from Korea's woodblock printing to the end of the 19th century. The exhibition consists of the Goryeo dynasty, the Joseon dynasty, the typecasting and typesetting. The highlight of woodblock printing during the Goryeo dynasty is the Tripitaka Korean. During the Goryeo dynasty, when Buddhism was the state religion, woodblock printing developed around temples. It was during the Goryeo dynasty that woodblock printing technology blossomed. Making the Tripitaka Korean was not an easy task. They had to cut down trees from Jeju Island far away, soak them in the sea water, and then boil them in salt water again. That's because the wooden boards won't be distorted, so they can be stored for a long time. After going through such a difficult process, they finally carved the Tripitaka Koreana on over 80,000 wood blocks in 15 years. This is the Tripitaka Koreana. It is the core of our country's woodblock printing technology. Joseon Dynasty, you can see the appearance of Jujaso. Jujaso is the place where letters were made and books were taken during the Joseon Dynasty. There is a record that Jujajang, the engineer of this Jujaso, was a craftsman, but the treatment was very good. From this fact alone, it can be seen that the country put great effort into letterpress business. The Joseon Dynasty was a time when science and culture developed evenly, and lives of people were enriched. The most representative of them was the development of printing technology. The first bronze print made in the world during the Goryeo Dynasty was in a full bloom during the Joseon Dynasty. In order to rule the country well, the king must read books to understand reasoning and correct his mind to make people peaceful. However, it was difficult to bring books from China across the sea. Also, the boards were fragile, and the power to print books is difficult. It's hard to print a lot of books because of this, so it would be much more beneficial to print a book with bronze letters. Thus, in the third year of King Taejong, a bronze type called Kenijang was made. Exhibition Hall 3, Eastern and Western Printing Culture. Exhibition Hall 3 is a space that introduces the ancient printing culture of East and the West, where you can see the printing culture of Japan and China as well as the printing culture of Europe represented by Gutenberg's 42-planet book. It is estimated that this printing machine was restored in the 17th century with the same types of wood and drying methods used in 15th century. It weighs 1.3 tons, and you can see the ancient Western prints made by compression. 수루가판 type. It is the first Japanese-made Cooper typeface. It was made in letterpress printing. Letterpress printing is a printing method in which metal or wooden types are arranged side by side to create typesetting. Unlike wooden boards, which are engraved one by one, it is advantageous to print various characteristics with type. The 금강 반야 갈라일 is the oldest woodblock print in China that was excavated in Tunghang, China, and currently it is exhibited in British Museum. Gutenberg Bible began in 1452, was completed in 1455, which consists of 2 columns of 40 lines and 1 page, and is called 42 planets. Gutenberg created 290 different types, including upper and lower case letters and compound letters and periods. To print this Bible, it has at least 100,000 types for typesetting. Gutenberg's printing was used almost unchanged for about 500 years. In 15th century, hundreds of words and thousands of the books were printed, including the Bible, other religious books, Greek and Roman classics, and Columbus' New World Discovery Report. Gutenberg's printing had a great influence on the Renaissance and Reformation. Jikji was printed in metal type more than 70 years before Gutenberg's 42-planet book, which proves that we are an inventor of metal type. It can be said that mankind's culture and civilization came from the fact that man's own private life, the language ability to express it, and furthermore have language that can be marked. In other words, it made us express in more developed and pluralistic ways than the simple and animalistic ways, so that the interesting and demands to preserve them could establish human civilization. In this context, the invention of printing is a very important thing that caused the information revolution in the history of human culture and civilization.